How's it going, everybody? My name is Katarina, and this is probably the last video you'll see on this car, because come Saturday, it'll no longer be my vehicle. So this is my 1981 Mercury Capri, and the one thing is, this car was supposed to be like a nice sort of daily driver. It was a really sorted car and everything, and it should have been really good to go. But unfortunately, when you like get a vehicle and then you start driving it like a lot more than the previous owner did. Like the previous owner was my buddy Keith, and then previous to that we got it like 2 summers ago in Calgary off a guy. He claimed it was roadworthy. It was definitely not. But yeah, so unfortunately, this car, like I mentioned, it's sold now. Just the deposit has already been made, and it's rather unfortunate. But the one thing is, I will kind of explain why I sold it, because this was like a really good deal for me, and if I would have fixed this thing, it would have been fine. But so first up, let's just go around the vehicle and I'll tell you why I sold it. So for starters, and also the CSAs are back on it, which look really good with the two-tone sort of paint when it's actually like cleaned. But you can actually see like that silver kind of matches, or very close to it anyways, and it really does kind of pop out a little bit too. So I do like that, you know. But like even the hood, it does have a couple of little rust spots in it. I mean, very easy to fix this, don't get me wrong, but there's a lot of just little things that all add up though, right? Like, you know, the roof skin, the doors are both rusty, the rear quarters are rusty, the rear hatch is starting to get some rust too, which is like, this is a kind of a unicorn of a hatch to try and find. So you have to fix this rather than replace it, or you would end up drilling the hole and everything and mounting this rear wiper mechanism back into another one. But yeah, like, you know, rear quarters need to be done. But luckily, you know, like all the structure points on this car are good, although it probably should be like re-undercoated underneath, and there's like a fuel line that needs to be replaced and stuff like that underneath the car. But we take a look inside. Now, I don't know if it's going to show up on camera because it almost never does. But this, oh, it is. There we go. So look at how immaculate this interior pretty much is. Like just nice, bright, vibrant red. And I kind of wish that the interior on my Mustang was this good. You know, because let's just get inside and like you can just see how nice it is. Now it needs a new dash pad, but to be honest, what Fox Buddy doesn't need a new dash pad? Doesn't have a center console in it or anything like that. The AM radio does actually work. It's pretty cool. A little bit of, you know, scratching here, whatever else. Like the interior is very minor, and the headliner's sagging a little bit. But you can see back here, it's a very clean car, and that's the new carburetor. That's like new old stock from like 30 years ago that I got a little while back. But the thing is, right now I have a problem with this thing, and it was turning into a bit too much of a project for me when I already have kind of my project over here. Even though this is like a reliable daily, it's awesome, but this is still a project, whatever else, and I didn't want this to turn into the same thing that did. But if we take a look under the hood, which I actually line this up really good, just by eyeballing it. Actually, the 2 bolts over for the starter solenoid are not in, and this thing just doesn't want to start. I don't know why. You turn the key and there's nothing, and also like the electrics inside started not to work. So there's a little bit of electrical to try and figure out with this car. But really, it's not too bad. This was a running, driving car back in like December. There we go. Just like that. The hood is a little, you know, one of those hoods where you like really have to like kind of slam it in. But it is sad, and I contemplated using this as a parts car to do the front clip swap on that, which I kept the other hood to do that with. It was a bent hood, and like it's modified in the way that I want it with like hood pins and stuff like that. So, and the owner was perfectly okay with me keeping that. Now, the thing is, getting rid of this thing was something that, I mean, I didn't really want to do, but it just made the most sense. Because by the time I fix all the rust, whatever else like that, I would be spending quite a bit of money on this car, and I just don't want to do that. The money that I want to spend is on, my Mustang. So you might ask, well, okay, what's the come? Am I going to get another Fox body? Am I going to end up getting some weird sort of thing or whatever? Or am I just going to say screw it and not actually get another vehicle? Well, there's a deal in place already for me to buy something, and it'll be the cheapest running and driving twin-turbo Subaru on the planet. There'll be more details about that hopefully tomorrow. I'm not going to go too deep into details about it. And we'll see, because even though that one's going to be a little bit of a project, not much though, where this one, just with the rust it has, whatever else, it's just, I'd rather not. Like, it's structurally, this car is sound, which is nice, but, it should have like a once over underneath though, just to make sure, because it has been sitting, and I haven't had this car up on the lift, to be fair, in quite a while. It's been well over a year, so it's possible that, it's a little worse underneath, but it's not like, oh my god, giant gaping rust holes or anything like that. Like, no. It has the rust that every Fox body has, on the floor, right by where you would put your foot, down by the firewall. It's got that rust, but let's be honest, so does my Mustang. Although that Mustang, that needs to be addressed, because, very soon, because it's now a full gaping hole. It's not just, a little bit of rust. So, and then I was doing some cosmetic stuff on my Mustang a little while ago, but so there's that whole thing, right? And then I'm just disappointed, because like the Polter Merc should have been a really fun, cool car, and I love the compliments that this thing gave me, because like a lot of people were just like, oh my god, that's a Capri, like I haven't seen one of those in a long time. And yeah, you don't see these around. Like, they did make a few of them, don't get me wrong, back in the day, but a lot of them are cut up into race cars, or they rusted into the ground, or they crashed, or whatever. They were only built from 1979 to 1986. So when you do see a Capri, it's quite nice, and I do love, the look of the Capri, because in my opinion, the Capri is a better looking Mustang. It just is. And it's too bad these never came in a notchback, but that's okay. I'm going to be building essentially a notchback Capri out of my Mustang that is behind the camera. And I wish it would have worked out better with this car, but with it needing, like, so the carburetor, the fuel tank needs to be gone through, and now the starter piling up like that, at least I'm pretty sure it's a starter, it might just be an electrical thing, I don't know, but I put power from a known entity, which is my Mustang's battery, while it was running, to this. And, like, straight to the starter, and it still wouldn't go. You'd hear this little bit of a whirring sound, like the starter is acting up, and I tried whacking it with a hammer, and nothing was working that way. So I said, screw it, and then I posted that video that you saw, which was my last update on this car. And yeah, like I mentioned, I sold it, and I'll be getting something very, very unique and rare and kind of cool, that you don't see very often. I've kind of teased about it. Now on TikTok, to be fair, I have actually posted it. And you know what, screw it, I'll just say what it is. I'm not going to say what I spent on it yet, though, because like I said, it's the cheapest running and driving twin-turbo Subaru ever. So, it's a 99 or 2000, can't remember the year, Subaru Legacy GT Wagon. EJ207, right-hand drive, automatic. It's pretty cool. And that'll be the new daily driver. Now it needs a couple things, like the rear wheel bearing on the driver's side. Apparently it's starting to go, so that'll need to be addressed. The motor apparently was like smoking a decent amount at some point, but that seems to have potentially stopped. I don't really know what's going on with that, but really, for the price I'm getting it for, I can't say no to that. And like I said, I'll reveal that in the future, but yeah, it's sad that it didn't work out between me and the Polter Merc, but really, what can you do? There isn't too much that I can do with this to really, make it good that way. Or like I could, but Sorry, what I mean by that is just I don't want to spend the money on this. Much rather spend the money on that and get something else for a daily driver. Because this is supposed to be a daily driver. You know, this was like the more practical car because it's a hatchback. And I was going to put a limited slip diff back there and, you know, a few other things as well. But now, she's just, yeah, she's going to a good home. Because the buyer, he's actually been eyeing this for a while. I had it listed and he, like, and I didn't actually say what I wanted for it at the time. Because I was trying to trade it, to be honest. I didn't really want a dollar value at the time. But now, dollar value is not so bad. And I'm not going to reveal that unless if he wants to, because he's actually a subscriber of the channel. So I hope to, you know, see this car again and see what he does with it, because who knows. He likes the idea of it being the inline 6, and like these inline 6s are pretty much bulletproof. They're very nice to drive and whatever else. They don't provide a lot of power, but economy is great. Like even this now, with the carburetor needs to be replaced because it overfuels really bad, but there's that new carb in the back of a 306, so it'll actually be a bit of an upgrade CFM wise for this thing. And it's potentially will get a little better fuel economy in the process too. Potentially, I don't know. I've never actually done that swap. Like I was contemplating, like just for shits and giggles, throwing it on Stitch and see what it would do, but nah. And it should be like a bolt-on upgrade by the looks of it. I compared two of the carburetor side by side, if you remember that video, when I got that carb last summer. So, yeah, but anyways, I am very disappointed that this didn't work out, but it's okay. I'm not really wanting two projects, and like this thing has been a headache ever since I got it, but he has the means to fix it, and he has the money and whatever else, so that's great. And I'll actually be doing a video on his Torino this summer, so stay tuned for that. But anyways, I appreciate everybody coming out and watching this video. Yeah, I will miss this car, but like I said, it's going to a good home. So, and like I said, it's just a little too much of a project than what I need right now. So, thank you for watching. Stay tuned for the next video, and yeah, like I said, the next video will be quite fun. There's going to be some stuff on my Mustang coming up. There is a point of view drive that I need to still upload and make public, and then there's going to be obviously the videos on the Subaru. There'll be two. There'll be one to see, will it even make it home? The other one is just checking it out for the second time, to be fair, but this is the first time I'll actually hear it run, so there's that. So yeah, stay tuned. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. Take care, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.